want to talk about it. We're gonna get through this. That's tough.
One black. When my career is over as far as me in a combat sport, as far as boxing, whatever, if I'm promoting on social media or I'm doing exhibitions, it's like, oh man, he's broke. No, it's not a crime for them to make money. They don't say nothing about the guys that's 80 and 90 that's still making hundreds of millions and billions, but as soon as somebody black does it, your own people say, oh, he's broke. Listen, I got to where I got to focusing on Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather has just lost ownership of his promotion agency, Mayweather Promotions, after it was closed down and seized by the FBI. And this response, he broke down in tears during an interview where he was questioned about the details of what transpired.
Betrayal almost.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you think Floyd did that intentionally?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Why? After so much time, after like, I guess, again, after what we think he helped you come into the game, he gave you the spotlight, like why would he try to diminish your career?
Because at that time, I don't want to go too deep into it because I don't want to bring up mine. But it was somehow that they were saying that I was messing with his daughter off of the fact that she kept Snapchatting me.
Okay.
She kept hitting me on the Snapchat.
According to famous boxing reporter Rick Glazer, who wrote on X earlier today, Floyd Mayweather has just lost ownership of his promotional company after the FBI found the company guilty of several issues, especially because the company was guilty of defrauding boxers and being used as a cover-up for financial vices. Also, the former boxer confirmed this himself in an interview and ended up bursting into tears as he gave his interviewer the impression that it wasn't all about him, but about the fighters he was trying to take to the next level.
The reason why I take my time and don't shoot everything out there to you guys about different businesses that I'm involved with, because everything ain't for everybody. Because it's like this, if everybody claiming that I'm not that sharp and I'm not that smart, then why should I give you guys my business plan? Why should I reveal my business plan? It's obvious if I've been a multi-millionaire.
It's very sad, and I hate that y'all be making it just about me, but Floyd Mayweather is good without Mayweather Promotions. I have enough real estate investments to keep myself up. I could do exhibition matches to get some good cash. But these fighters? After boasting about his wealth and claiming Mayweather Promotions has nothing on him, he went into details regarding his fighters, and it was at that point he broke down in tears. It's not about me, it's about the guys I promised to take to the next level. I showed them a future and I don't have the chance to do so. The FBI hasn't hurt only me. It's more about those guys in the gym that can make America proud and put food on the table for their families. It's really crazy, and I take all the blame for this.
You got guys like Warren Buffett that's in his 80s or 90s that can still make a ton of money. Bill Gates can still make computers.
According to reports, Mayweather Promotions was audited for the first time in the month of March 2025. And that was when many of Mayweather's hidden crime cases were uncovered. It was first discovered that they had several issues with unpaid taxes. Also, fighters like Gervonta Davis, Rolly Romero, Kermel Mooten, etc. have been heavily duped by Floyd.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Rich back with another one. Now, everybody is talking about how Floyd Mayweather is losing all his fighters. Gervonta Davis just put out a tweet saying that he stopped Shakur Stevenson from signing with Floyd because Floyd was setting him up for failure. Now, I'm a big Floyd Mayweather fan.
The initial plan was to give the fighters 70% of their earnings, while the promotion takes 30%. However, Floyd Mayweather would always take 70%, while lying to the fighters and manipulating the figures to make it seem like the money they were given was 70%. Also, Mayweather Promotions was a smokescreen for Floyd Mayweather. It was what Floyd used to cover his hidden crimes, using the company account for several fraudulent and crypto deals. On hearing this, fans poured into the comment section. And while some mourned the end of Mayweather Promotions, others saw it as a reason for celebration.
And supporter, and I love Tank. But, you know, a lot of times us fans don't really know what goes on behind the scenes, and if all this stuff they saying about Floyd Mayweather is true, it's sad because I feel like it take away from his career, his character as a person, because we see him in the ring, we see how head-driven he is.
One fan said, "Can't believe Mayweather Promotions got seized. Floyd's been on top of the boxing world for so long. What's going on behind the scenes? The king of boxing is losing his grip? Mayweather Promotions seized? I'm excited to see what's next for Floyd in the boxing world." The second added, This is huge. Floyd's empire crumbling? I'm curious to see how this affects his future fights and business ventures. Floyd Mayweather's promotions being taken away is a shock. What did he do wrong? Was it tax issues or something more serious?
Confident he is, and we see how he's the greatest in the ring, but a lot of times that stuff don't be carrying on to different people's characters. So y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Y'all think Floyd just think about himself and don't really care about his fighters? Do you think everything that people are saying about Floyd is...
Another quipped, "This is a dark day for boxing fans. Mayweather Promotions being seized is a big deal. I hope Floyd can bounce back from this. What's the reason behind Mayweather Promotions being seized? Was it financial issues or something else? Can't wait for more info." A surprised fan added, "Floyd Mayweather's downfall is coming? Mayweather Promotions taken away? This is a major blow to his career. I'm shocked. Mayweather Promotions seized? Floyd's been a legend in boxing, but it seems like his empire is crumbling?" This clashes with a recent complaint from one of the fighters in Mayweather Promotions, Ingram. The boxer took to X and wrote, "I love Floyd and appreciate everything from him, but it's time for me to part ways. I'm so behind guys my age group and turned pro around the same time. That makes no sense when I'm supposedly with one of the best promotions in the game."
I was in a lose-lose situation. Now, what came out still on top?
With Floyd, you said, what was the lose-lose situation? What you mean?
Just there was a situation that he put me in to, make me lose, but he thought.
You talking about like a boxing match or?
Yeah, boxing match.
Ooh, if you don't mind. If you don't want to, it's fine.
Joseph Pedraza, my first world title. I was 16-0. I was 21.
However, since signing with Mayweather Promotions in 2023, he has only fought once, that too, on a non-Mayweather Promotions card against Jashawn Hunter in March of this year. The boxer had to make a deal himself to fight on the card. In February 2022, Ingram began his professional boxing career with a first-round knockout victory over Jemiah Mays. The 23-year-old defeated Hector Aguirre and Marchese Stewart in 2 additional fights in the year 2022. Ingram continued by describing how Leonard Ellerby, the former CEO of Mayweather Promotions, has not been supportive of the boxer, saying that Ellerby has stated that it's out of his control to get him fights despite being a part of his promotion.
And I haven't fought in like 7 or 8 months. And around that time, I wasn't making that much money. I probably was making like 10,000 a fight. So 6 months is crazy to not fight, So when they came back and it was like, all right, you gotta fight. He was like, you gotta fight this fighter, which is Joseph Pedraza. If you don't fight him, you're not fighting. You sitting on the.
This has led him to ask Mayweather Promotions to let him out of their contract so he can fight elsewhere. However, they refused to do that, which forced him to reveal the issues publicly. In an X post, he wrote, "What y'all don't know is this isn't day 4 of this situation. I sent my notice being professional and being ignored. We could have handled this all off the internet like I wanted to. Ingram is a North Carolina native and has recently become a father." While sharing his distress, the boxer stated on X, "I have a mouth to feed. I don't work a job. I pay my own bills. I only box. Boxers make money when they fight, and you think I'm about to keep my mouth closed when a brother isn't getting fights?"
So I had to fight him. In the midst of all that happened, I got evicted, had to sell my jewelry. So now, and remind you, I'm letting them boxers that you talking about, I'm putting them on game, letting them know what's going on. Like, see, this was happening. Like, you feel me? I'm letting these guys know. So when it be like people saying they want to fight me, it's.
Floyd Mayweather's stable of boxers has produced other fighters who have expressed similar views previously about the promotion company not being the right place for them. Ingram's reported desire to depart adds to the ongoing conversation surrounding Mayweather Promotions' relationship with its boxers. Leonard Ellerby, the former CEO of Mayweather Promotions, amidst the chaos surrounding Floyd Mayweather, claimed his former friend was safe from bankruptcy and denied the claims of other reporters.
I had to focus in on Floyd Mayweather. That's how I got to becoming 50-0. Because my thing was always, I didn't care what nobody else was doing. I had to focus on me and my family.
He claimed to have heard all of the stories about the voluminous number of boxers who blew their earnings from the ring and wound up broke, often on the street. But no matter how badly things go in the future for Floyd Mayweather Jr., Ellerby said there is no conceivable way that Mayweather would ever wind up in that position. Ellerby and Al Heyman, Mayweather's de facto manager, worked together to handle Mayweather's business portfolio. Mayweather showed reporter Tim Keown of ESPN the magazine a banking slip that indicated a balance of $123 million in one account. Ellerby told Yahoo Sports that he thinks Mayweather and golfer Tiger Woods may have been the only athletes to have more than $100 million in their bank accounts when they retired.
The biggest news over the weekend to me was Leonard Ellerby and Floyd Mayweather parting ways. I just was in girls' collection a week and a half ago, and them niggas was in the club together. So to see Leonard Ellerby, who started off, as far as I know, I'm not even talking about Grand Rapids, Michigan, or anything else when they growing up. He started off in the corner with Floyd. Not his main trainer or anything like that.
Floyd's retired with 9 figures in the bank, Ellerby said. I think Tiger Woods has a very good chance of doing that as well. I can't think of anyone else who has done that or who looks right now like they might do it. Mayweather was guaranteed a staggering $41.5 million to fight Canelo Alvarez on Saturday in a pay-per-view bout that generated record business and was only the second boxing match in history to exceed 2 million sales. Ellerby gave a brief glimpse into Mayweather's private business world and said the $41.5 million check he received against Canelo was but a mere pittance compared to what he might have made if the fight had been the all-time record of 5 million pay-per-view sales.
Like some confusion, is Tank a Mayweather Promotions fighter still? Is he not? What is his still his involvement with Mayweather Promotions, or is it just all still PBC, Al Heyman?
Yeah, Tank is not signed to Mayweather Promotions.
Okay. Got
He's
it.
not signed to Mayweather Promotions. His contract ran out,
Yeah.
and that's fine. But as I always say, contracts don't define relationships.
The sky's the limit on how well this fight did, Ellerby said. You've got to remember we were not in any situation. We were controlling what was going on. We were dictating. We're dictating the terms. So if it goes through the roof, then it is what it is. He stands to make a whole lot of money in this fight. Listen, since this fight went through the roof, Floyd Mayweather made $100 million in this fight as sure as we're standing here talking, Ellerby said.
GTD now? I saw you have the GTD shirt.
Leonard's what? The winning team.
Tank, you must mention that you wanted to fight in Chicago. That was one of the most likely places you wanted to fight in. Do you still want to fight in Chicago?
Yeah, for sure I'll fight in Chicago. Yeah, I'll fight in Chicago. Yeah.
What made you want to say Chicago?
Chicago beautiful, man. Besides the bad stuff that they promote.
However, a fan quickly commented that Ellerby's claims were lies and disputed them with an analysis. Ellerby is lying. That's impossible given the math. For the sake of argument, assume an average purchase price of $70, since the HD version is $74.95 and the standard definition version is $64.95. Golden Boy CEO Richard Schaefer said sales skew slightly in favor of the high-definition version. He then added, and further, assume that the fight sells 3 million pay-per-views, which would beat the existing record by 25% and doesn't seem possible.
You know, and Floyd was that guy, you know, and the two worlds collided, and we used that as a platform for Floyd to go on to become the biggest star in the sport. This one's different because, you know, social media.
That would generate $210 million in net revenue. In pay-per-view, half of that money goes to the cable, satellite, and telephone companies that distribute the fight. That would mean the promotion would net $105 million out of the pay-per-view sales. To get to $100 million, Mayweather would have to earn $58 million in pay-per-view revenue out of that $105 million. But Ellerby insisted he was telling the truth, even if he wasn't divulging details. I don't want to get into all of the specifics, he said, but he wouldn't back down on that figure. In the last 6 years of Floyd's career since the De La Hoya fight and shortly before the Canelo fight, has earned $153 million in purse guarantees alone, which does not include the pay-per-view upside he would have received.
In terms of styles and in terms of where these guys are at in their careers and undefeated records and everything, is there a fight from maybe a previous generation, previous era that you could closely compare this to, you feel like?
No, this is one-on-one. One-on-one. And this fight right here, there isn't a fight that kind of, you know, because it's a whole different generation. You got two guys, you know, you have a Mexican-American guy.
After the closure of Mayweather Promotions, Ellerby said Mayweather has made a great amount of money from investments and said Mayweather had significant real estate holdings. Prime real estate, Ellerby said. Prime? I'm talking about commercials. He has a large investment in prime commercial real estate. He has made a lot of money from his investments, particularly in these last 2 years.
You're backed by arguably one of the greatest of all time, right?
What are we rating ourselves on? What are we rating on?
Okay.
Well, we want to know. In the least amount of fights, I didn't have to have 70 fights or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Ellerby said he has no fear that Mayweather will blow the fortune after his fighting career, the way that former heavyweight champions Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield, among many others, did? Never, Ellerby said. Floyd has a tremendous advantage because he's seen the pitfalls and the things that have happened to other fighters going back a long, long time before him. He's educated himself and surrounded himself with top-flight financial advisors. Floyd has a number of billionaire friends who have helped him and given him sound advice. In this world, it's all about who you know. There are things that are not available to this segment of people that are available to this other segment of people, and Floyd's taken advantage of all of that.
World champions.
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that...
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
On Floyd's latest real estate deal that sparked several controversies, fans had this to say. People have spent the past 20 plus years telling us Floyd is broke. Why does everyone want this to be so bad? Also, Floyd has friends in high places. When you're meeting with the Prime Minister of Israel and the President of the US, you're probably doing okay. Another added, some established NYC real estate families saw a mark and dumped all their low-performing subsidized units, which are a complete nightmare to professionally manage to a mark who has money but has no idea how real estate works but wants to be seen as a real businessman. This is a common occurrence.
Some of the biggest artists, and you wouldn't even know, because my name don't have to be on everything.
I have to be the marquee.
Yeah, because sometimes if you put your name on certain things, you got people that's gonna be jealous. So sometimes I was like, I don't got to have my name on it to collect the check. So
the third fan quipped, he's had his share of bad investments and attempts to scam people, including crypto. He just had his hand in everything in boxing and had an advisor who taught him to diversify and put everything in separate businesses, so he shielded most of his assets from each other, but he's not above any other swindler. A nagging fan also declared, the way this country is going right now, these real estate bubbles will collapse. Investors will run from this market overnight. Maybe that's why he managed to buy every building. Owners are happy to rid of bad investment. Finally, one said, you are focusing on the wrong issue. I'm not accusing Floyd of anything, just answering why one person can own a whole block while 1 million New Yorkers plus cannot afford rent.
This is what he told me one day. We took a walk. We was in New York. We was taking a walk. He said, you see that building right there? He said, yeah. We said, we own that. You see this building? We own it. So we was walking and walking. Then he said, a boxer makes money when he boxing. A football player makes money when he playing football. Basketball player makes money when he playing basketball. He said, but New York real estate, you make money when you sleep.
According to Sports Illustrated, Floyd Mayweather's net worth is estimated to be $500 million in 2025. Though it would be worth noting that his career earnings surpass even $1.1 billion, making him one of the richest athletes to ever exist. He's also one of the highest paid athletes of all time, standing alongside popular names like Michael Jordan. Nearly $300 million of the Michigan native's earnings come from the fight purses, pay-per-view profits, and endorsements. In fact, out of the top 5 PPVs in boxing, 4 had Mayweather boxing in the main event.
And made over $1 billion. By the time I was 40, I made over $1.2 billion with no endorsement deals, independent. So it's obvious I got some type of remedy, or I know what I'm doing. But I don't want to reveal it to the world. I want everybody to think what they want to think.
The credit for this sky-high revenue can also be given to Mayweather's training sessions. They were broadcast as behind-the-scenes footage in a television series prior to some of his major bouts. Even after retiring, Money's cash influx didn't know any bounds as he kept engaging in exhibition matches around the world. His exhibition bout against Logan Paul in June 2021 reportedly brought him $65 million. As we mentioned, it's not just boxing that Mayweather brings in money from. Beyond his boxing career, Mayweather claims to earn at least $300 million each month through his business ventures. In 2007, he founded his own boxing promotions under the name Mayweather Promotions. And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.